Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. Today we're getting into this Hot Wheels unboxing. This is the 2020 Corvette Factory Fresh. Now, I did a review on the this is considered the C8 generation. I did a review on a Hot Wheels C8 racing version recently. And I had mentioned how it was hard to kind of find a just regular mainline. This regular mainline, I didn't get till after that one. And it was just felt a lot harder for me to get, harder for me to find. I just happened to coincidentally find it. But it was weird to me that they didn't put this one out before they put the racing one out. And so that was something that was a little bit tough. And if I'm not mistaken, I think somewhere in my collection, I have a Matchbox version that's also blue, if I'm not mistaken, that I got before I got this. So it wasn't easy. Hot Wheels didn't really make a regular line version at that time, at least not in the beginning. Factory Fresh, I'm surprised it doesn't have any of the information on the back. Normally, if it's just simply, even though I know it's part of one of the lines, but you would think that that would be, whenever it's just like a baseline car, premiering a car, normally you expect it to have the information of the car on it. So a little surprised they didn't have that on this one here. Now, as I mentioned before with that other C8 Corvette, the racing one, that I actually prefer just a regular clean factory fresh, as you would say, as they say it, in regards to just, I prefer that over like a racing model or anything like that. So here you could see, you got the quad exhaust back there. And I want to say that this was the first model in which they went away from having the quad exhaust right in the center and now made it on the outskirts like traditional exhaust would be. You got those lights, which they become known for. They used to have circular lights in like the C6 version, but then the C7 version gave lights similar to this, which were almost like they were derived from the Camaro, which obviously are part of the same company, so that would make sense. You see the body design on this, and it looks nice. I would say that this version is actually better, in my opinion, than the Matchbox version, which seemed a little too tall in its profile, if I remember correctly. You got the lights, and you got the emblem on the front. So it looks nice. This is one of those cars where I feel like in person it looks better than the car model does here for whatever reason. But keep in mind, this is the 2020 version. I seen one of these outside the other day, and obviously, like any car, as you make more refinements of that generation, in this case the C8 generation, it gets a little more sleeker, it gets a little more like sharper, it gets a little more like, it looks better until they go to the next version. So always the iterations that are right before they go to the next iteration is always like, how should I say, the versions of that generation that are the latest always look better and more refined just before they go to the next generation. So yeah, but definitely a fan. At one point in time, I was a little back and forth, but thinking that the C7 looked better. But then this one eventually grew on me. I still think the C7 does look really nice though. But tell me what your thoughts are, you guys. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.